You're like a bunch of crazy dogs.
Sometimes defiant, sometimes defiant, sometimes defiant.
Hey, shoot him, man. Hope I never get back in there. I was kicked off.
Sometimes defiant, sometimes defiant.
It's your guy.
What you gotta say to the camera?
Yes, sir.
Sometimes
You way to shine.
Going as all you want to. We built for this shit. We don't fold, motherfucker. We don't fucking fold.
Son, I gotta do better than this.
sometimes defiant, sometimes defiant.
It's your guy who was never lying. Sometimes defiant. TP Way the Giant. Ladies and gentlemen. Good evening. Good evening, man. Thank you all for rocking with me. Thank you for tuning in. I apologize, man, for the awkward ass time that I'm doing today. I did figure, look, I'd rather do an awkward time than no time. It's been a busy week. It's been a super busy week. So I know that it was going to be a little different this week. We did have our first episode of the Mirror Image today. We put that out, and that was fantastic. If you haven't seen that episode, if you're a sports fan, go see that with me and my twin Brose from Proven Grounds. But yeah, we are here. We are back. And we're going to chop it up just a little bit on what we have to chop it up about with the Falcons. The Atlanta Falcons, man. I want to see, what's the train of thought of everybody, man? How do y'all feel? What do y'all think is going to transpire, going into this game? What's on your mental? If you have any thoughts at all. I will say this repeatedly until the mission is complete. We've of course haven't got the job done, and I would hope that this beloved football team of ours can do something right. Let's do something right. Let's tank appropriately. Let's tank appropriately. I'm looking at the schedule for the rest of the season, and I do not see a win. I don't. And what would really piss me off is if the Giants, play superhero ball in some way, somehow, in another world, find a way to get a pointless victory. I think it's way too late for that. Man. I don't think winning at this point is going to benefit us at all. I know I've been the one to say, yo, you try to win every game, but that is only because there were certain factors that I felt like would benefit you going into the next season. So because we went out the way we went out, nah, man, just tank. Please tank. My guy Clinton Jones is in the chat. He says, "Hey," he says the episode was good, man. You heard it from the man himself, man. Giant salute to my boy Clinton. Always tuned in, man. I appreciate that. And then Big Pat says, "Facts, bro. Yeah, man. Yeah, I mean, it's just the reality of it, man. It's just the reality of it, man. I can't make it up. I'm in more of an exciting feel, I guess, vibe to like push out content. I'm trying to get in my creative bag. I put out the kind of battle rap / spoken word / just whatever we can call it, style of a video about getting rid of both. We're getting rid of both of Coach Dable and Joe Shane. I know I did that. I did put out, like I said, the mirror image and things like that. Anyway, the point of the matter is, I'm doing what I said I would do, man. I'm going hard. I'm going hard with the content, and we're just keeping the consistency up. And we just, we getting into that bag. We get into that bag, especially in the off season. I'm going to try to do my due diligence is to keep y'all fed during the off season, man. I do want to start with this now that we are starting with content, and we are in the conversation about that. I do want to start about the rumor and the story that has went around with the New York Giants PR team reaching out to New York Giant content creators or a content creator or whatever has transpired. It is comical. Part of the reason on why I even started doing the content creation is one, I said that when I do this thing, I'm going to do it my way. You know what I mean? I'm going to do it my way. I'm going to say what I want. I'm going to touch on the topics that I want. You know, of course, I will be the man of the people and give the people, you know, what they ask for. But there is going to be no way that I allow an outside influence to stop it from being TP's way, if you could catch what I'm doing. I think it is crazy for whoever it was from the New York Giants PR team to reach out at this point in time and try to control a narrative and tell what a New York Giant content creator what to speak about because of a few things. For one, I don't know if y'all have been paying attention, but it is a damn war zone over there in MetLife, and you have the time to reach out to some content creators about the actual reality of what is going on. You're worrying about that rather than worrying about how you can go and secure Shador and how you can attract other players to this team. You are worried about that. To me, that is absolutely wild. Rumor has it that it is a podcast that pushes out numbers, that reaches to the people, and they do have influence. I don't know, man. For them, of course, they have whatever they have set up. But I'm just speaking from the outside looking in because best believe nobody reached out to me. I mean that's I guess it is above my pay grade or whatever. But I know for sure that if that was to happen over here, oh my God. Oh my God. The words that I would have for these gentlemen. The words that I would have for those gentlemen, man. And see, and this has also been my kind of train of thought and my pushback to just the New York Giants organization in general, man. They have never been the best at supporting and really doing what I think would be necessary for a lot of these Giant fans that deserve it. Someone like a license plate guy. You know, I've heard him speak on, and if those who don't know who license plate guy is, I guess if you're in a Giants community living under a rock, he's just one of the Giants super fans. For somebody like him that has been attending these games and repping the Giants for so long, to not get the push and support that I believe it is necessary, just says a lot about the organization in itself. You know, you look around all of these organizations and these teams, and they do specific things for these super fans and the super fans that is out here touching the people. And I'm saying this from the outside looking in. I do want to make that clear. And no, me and license plate guy don't have no tight relationship or anything like that. But I will say, man, I just don't feel like I am seeing the push and the support from the Giants organization that I would like to see. So if they're not doing it for somebody like him, I do not expect them to do it for anybody else. to do it for anybody else. I mean, when it comes to this whole PR, I mean, this PR thing has been something that we failed at. This whole PR thing has been something that we've been trashed. You know, even when you think about the hard knocks aspect of things. I mean, we could keep going with things. We could keep going with things. But it really, man, the Giants, New York Giants organization, man, they really could just find ways for somebody who cared like me to feel like it's just a straight just slap in the face to some things, man. Just a slap in the face. Like right now, I feel like the little ass kid that is sitting on the bench at the park watching everybody else have fun. Watching everybody else have fun. Man, I want to get on them swings. Damn, yo, the monkey balls look lit right now. Ooh, they are set up tight. Nah, we on the bench, man. Watching everybody else get stuff done, setting up, that's what it is right now. That's how I feel. And when we go get our head out our ass, man, and get in the game. Get in the game. If I walk into the barbershop with New York Giants gear on, I get laughed out my seat. It's a joke. It is a clear joke. And one thing I'm starting to learn is I'm a lot more uncomfortable with the feeling at being at the super bottom than a lot of these Giant fans. I've learned that. I've learned that. You know how I know that I'm more uncomfortable? Because y'all are willing to continue with Coach Dable. That's how I know I'm uncomfortable, more uncomfortable. Because that says a lot to me, man. Y'all are seeing the product that is on the field. I would assume some of y'all are seeing the coaching mistakes that are happening all throughout this year. Y'all know that we have digressed and we have, we haven't gotten better since 2022. Y'all see the errors, the multiple errors that is done by this head coach and coaching staff. But yet again, y'all are still out here trying to push, let's keep Coach Dable another year. And the one thing that I've been hearing the most is, come on, man, how long we going to keep firing coaches and then until you get it right, motherfuckers? Until you get it right. I ain't scared to fire a soul. We are at the bottom. I am uncomfortable with that shit. I think the problem has been the hiring process in these coaches. But I don't think you change up the recipe. I don't think you continue to let somebody burn this ship to the ground even more. I don't think that is the answer. Give me somebody in here that looks like they're some types capable. For real, man. Anyway, shout out to the Big Blue Crew Network. Like I always say, man, make sure you go subscribe to the Big Blue Crew Network. And you get a lot of these different conversations. You get a lot of this New York Giant conversation, but you have all sports covered there. Also, make sure that you subscribe to Proven Grounds as well. And Clinton Jones says, I agree. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. What Anthony Hamilton say, man, I'm tired of being sick and tired. That's just how I feel. That's just how I feel. So, I'm sorry, I didn't even mean to go off on that, but it just almost had me fired up for a minute. When it comes to the actual task at hand, the New York Giants versus the Atlanta Falcons this week, Week 16. We are going in with Kirk Cousins benched and Michael Penix, a.k.a. Willie Beeman, is the starting quarterback. And this is going to be interesting. Michael Penix is somebody who I enjoyed watching in college. He was one of those college players that you end up liking, and you end up saying to yourself, man, I hope he succeeds in a league. Similar to like a Lamar Jackson in my book. For him to finally get his shot as a starting quarterback is a lot of thoughts that go into this, man. For one, I hope he kills. I hope he kills. Look, let's not play around. Let's not play around. It could be a little uncomfortable feeling getting a backup quarterback versus us, because again, we are on a mission. We are on a mission to tank this shit to the ground, because we have to get Shador. But in the same breath, it's like, what are we gonna get from him? What are we gonna get from him? I definitely think he is somebody who is capable. We have seen flashes of him yet in the league. I think that this is going to be mighty interesting. But I also think when it comes to this defense that we have, or the product that we're going to put out on the field, what are they going to come out looking like? What are they going to come out looking like? We've seen flashes in these past couple of games of this backup roster. Really is a preseason roster that we putting out there, with some type of grit. And I said this before, but I feel like the reasoning on why that is the case is because a lot of the people that we are seeing now are fighting for jobs. We got to think from a business standpoint of from their shoes. A lot of these gentlemen are taking this time to state a case on why they should be on an NFL roster, whether it is with the New York Giants or somewhere else. So you're going to get that from certain players, and you're going to get a certain level of effort. Now, I am somebody, I will be honest with you, I am not that familiar with the Atlanta Falcons. I have watched about like 2 games from them this year. So I hope and pray that they are good enough to succeed and get this win. I think that they are, but again, a lot of that is going to be from the back of Willie Beeman, aka Michael Penix Jr. So it does bring some type of interest to this game, because you got to think about it, man. For a New York Giant fan, I understand why a lot of Giant fans aren't tuned in anymore. I understand that aspect of it. But when you take a tier above, and you got the Giant fans that eat, sleep, and breathe this shit, it kind of we're kind of looking past the win and loss narrative to games. Now it's time to just look at different things, and this is one of them. Also, we look from a standpoint of, look, we needed a QB so bad. What is it that we didn't draft Michael Penix Jr. for? Now, if he goes out and kills, it has to say to this fan base that if you say that you want and needed a quarterback so bad, that this would be another mistake, a drafting mistake. And who knows what Michael Penix ends up turning into? Who knows? Especially when you look at what the rookie quarterbacks at all are doing this year. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. So it's going to be interesting for that reason, but make no mistake about it. Tank this motherfucker to the ground. Tank it to the ground. Shout out to Lamont Murray in the building. He says, who you want in the draft, G? I'm a Vikings fan, but what QB you want? Look, shout out to the Minnesota Vikings. Look, y'all out there doing y'all thing. Actually fighting for number 1 in the division. That is further up than what we could see right now. That is something that we can't even see in our view. So shout out to y'all. But to answer your question, I do not. I'm going to put a campaign out soon. I'm going to be pushing it definitely in the offseason. Make no mistake about it. Shador. Give me Shador Sanders. I will say it is a 1A and 1B situation for me. With Shador, being the 1A, and then you have Cam Ward being the 1B. I don't see an issue with both, but I think that I like Shador as the total package more. With Cam Ward, you gotta be careful because you need more of a coaching job, I would say, with Cam Ward. And for sure, which I don't think is going to be the case, but for sure, if we have Coach Dable here next year, oh my God, I wouldn't trust Coach Dable with prime Tom Brady, let alone with a Cam Ward. And so I think that overall Shador will bring just certain things that I don't think Cam Ward can bring maybe as quick to the New York Giants. Even all right, well, even off the play, right? I think people kind of underestimate what Shador will bring to the locker room. Shador Sanders is somebody that I think can really relate to these players. I think he can really lead. We got a young, super young roster. And I think that this Shador can really get into his leadership bag and really relate and get to a level to where they could understand him. I don't know about y'all, but I have been paying attention to the Sanders family a lot, especially because Deion Sanders Jr. he puts out the behind the scenes content, and you can kind of see more of the personality and feel on who Shador is. And I could just see that translating in that marriage between the young players offensively and Shador just blending perfectly. I think also that New York is the perfect place for Shador. I was watching the vlog that he put out when he visited NYC. But I just know also that Shador is meant. He is meant for the bright lights. He was born for this shit, man. His dad is Coach Prime. I literally think he was born for this. He has that gene. The lights and all of that other shit, it turns him up. It turns him up. It is an X factor of his that is just super duper rare. And he has that just that prime effect. I have seen him in many situations where I've thought like, yo, this is hectic. Like the pressure is on. And he goes out there and he slings that rock. Can y'all think about how crazy it was in the time when he moved from Jackson State to Colorado? Like how much pressure it was for him to perform. Because if he did not look good immediately, you know how the sports world works, they would have crucified that man. They would have crucified him. Matter of fact, I'll take it back even further. For them choosing to go to Jackson State was another moment. Imagine if they didn't look good there. It would have been a bad look for him there. And I think he's just showed up in more moments than none. And, this may not be something that, he's going to say. But I'm watching these games. And I could say for sure that the games that they typically lose, it is not on the back of Shador Sanders. I can tell you that right now. A lot of those games that they have went out with an L with, it is because of the supporting cast. And the reason on why they were even close or put in the game is because of the quarterback play of Shador Sanders. And again, in the offseason, I told y'all, man, we're gonna talk about this more and more, and we're gonna really talk about the football side of things. But there's a few reasons, man. I can see it. I can see it. I look. A lot of people think I'm wilding with this, but and this is not me just talking just to talk. I think if Shador Sanders comes to New York, he is going to be one of the, if not the biggest, New York athlete of all time. Of all time, if not the one of the. We haven't seen this type of effect before, man. We haven't seen somebody with this type of sauce. We haven't. We haven't. Think about the just the New York sporting legends. You know, you have your Derek Jeters, your Carmelo Anthonys, and your Eli Mannings, and whoever. Nobody that I can remember has bought the sauce like I think Shador can bring the sauce. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Yeah, I just see it being a crazy ass marriage. But yeah. Clinton Jones says, I have a friend used to play for Atlanta. Okay. Clinton Jones says, yes, sir. I guess in agreement. All right, but yeah, man. Also, New York Giants Twitter. Twitter has been something that I take with a grain of salt, man. I can't stay on it for too long, but I make sure that I do my due diligence to kind of, see what's going on through the mind of people and reaching out and things of that nature. For some reason, and I said this before, it's like, yo, this fan base be acting like cheap prostitutes at times. Now people are saying that they have interest in Kirk Cousins. For what I don't know. For what I don't know. And this is another element that I say, like, yo, y'all can't be as tired as I am. You can't be as tired as I am. Because why is this fan base just so comfortable with getting scraps? Kirk Cousins is getting benched over there. What in y'all brain says, you know what? It will work over here. If he comes to the New York Football Giants, I think that will be a good marriage between the two. I mean, just how does that work, man? How does that work? Kirk Cousins has been somebody has been average most of his career and good at best. Good at best. There's a reason on why he's being a journeyman. I need somebody to come in here, man. If you are in a position, at least, we are in a position to get the guys. The guys. If we are in that type of position, why are you even looking for someone to come in here and blur those lines? I don't understand it. I just feel I don't know, man. I don't know if it's just a thing where people just try to put out narratives to see if it could stick, just to say, hey, I was responsible for this narrative. I mean, I don't know if it's that. I don't know if we really just lack the intelligence of what the smartest thing to do for this team. And I hate to shit on y'all opinions like that, but it just doesn't add up to me, man. It doesn't add up to me. Shador, Cam Ward, and then Kirk Cousins? Please help me understand that. That's like when you taking a test and it's multiple, you got the what you call it, brain freeze, but you got the multiple answers and they give you the dummy answer. They give you one of those answers is clearly like an answer that is wrong. Y'all got man, stop, man. I know y'all been so disappointed with the quarterback play lately. I get it. I understand that. But stop reaching for stuff, man. Like there are certain things when it comes to what we have to do that are just simple, man. That are simple. Let's not overthink things. Let's not overthink them. I get it, man. I get it. Our GM isn't doing his job. So you feel like, yo, I could be the GM mind that could say, yo, if you listen to me, we will get there. Or I have ideas. I understand that. We all have that as Giants fans. We all have that in our inner thoughts. But certain things are not complicated at all, man. I am telling y'all, the answer is right there for taking. It is right there for taking. Go get our guy. Go get our guy. What I expect to see Sunday is what I've been seeing in these last few weeks. I expect to see a bunch of horrible just play on both offensively and defensively by a bunch of guys where you got to look and say, who is that? Missed tackles, getting toasted. I'm expecting to see that. I'm expecting to see, who is it? A Bijan Robinson have his way. When he kicks things to the outside, I expect to see them have a Michael Penix Jr. coming out party. I expect for Drew Lock to have spots throughout the game to where maybe he can hook up with certain receivers, especially with a Malik Neighbors, trying to get him to that 1,000-yard mark. But I also expect to see this Giants offense to continue to look like it doesn't belong in the league. These are the things that are just no-brainers. These are the simple things. I'm not going to reach for something that is there. I'm not going to try to say something for shock value. I mean, these are things that are just so simple that I expect to see in this game that I believe what is going to happen. Certain things when it just comes to this New York Giant football team is just so simple. And it don't even take for me to say it. It is so simple. And over again, man, I see this beautiful fan base of ours. And I say that in my sarcastic voice. I see us try to overcomplicate things. I see us try to overthink things. We say the most ridiculous shit sometimes that is just like, bro, I could tell that wasn't well thought of. So again, I used this analogy before. If you are in a house fire and it is flames all over the place, that is when you have to think the most clear to get up out the building. If you just start thinking all types of shit, panicking and blah, 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 your ass is going to get burnt. Sarandrick Rainey says, oh, you know what it is. Ain't no secret. That's a fact. I mean, it ain't no secret. If there ain't no secret, it really isn't. Clinton Jones says, who are you going for this weekend? I mean, are we talking overall or are we talking about us? Because I got an embarrassing answer to that. Shout out to my guy, Dead and Shelton. Says TP with the salute, Giants salute to Dead and Shelton. Appreciate it, bro. Thanks for tuning in. Listen, again, let's keep things going, man. Let's keep things flowing. I am still on the road to 1,000 subscribers. Please make sure that you help with the engagement. You like, you comment, and you subscribe. We've been kind of at a standstill for a minute, man, because this also, I've said this before, but the New York Giants, when we lose on the field, content creators also lose off the field, man. It's bad for business, man, when we lose the way we do, man. So just keep the engagement going up. Let's keep things pushing, man. We still trucking ahead. I appreciate everybody that's been sending out, words of encouragement and things like that. that's been tuned in consistently, man. I really do. I appreciate it. Clinton says at college. Oh man, I uh, I only have one prediction when it comes to college, man. I think these games is going to be super duper interesting. Um, I first of all, this week as a whole, it's going to be a beautiful week of football in general. Um, but I am looking forward to seeing my guy Genty absolutely kill in this first round. I want him to go off. I want him to make everybody feel it, and I want him to be on the case of I am the true Heisman. Like I want him to be on that type of time. Um, but yeah, I got to look at the games and everyone who's playing, but I think it's going to be a beautiful week of football outside of the trash can of the New York Football Giants, unfortunately. Corey Johnson says, "Yo, what's up, man? And happy holidays, Giants! Salute to my guy Corey Johnson. Thank y'all for tuning in. Thank y'all for rocking. Thank y'all for rocking with us." Tarandrick says, "Should leave Boyle in." Hey, man, I'm not mad at you. I'm not mad at you, and I'm actually glad that you brought this up. Why isn't Boyle in? I'll tell you why. Because we are on a mission. We are on a mission. We got to tank this motherfucker. And quiet as kept, Boyle looked a little too good for our liking. Boyle looked a little bit too good. He was actually out there, making things shake for a little bit. Putting the ball where it needs to be. He was throwing some dots out there. Giving Malik Neighbors a chance to do his thing. So I would assume, the reason on why they not putting Boyle in is because, what they've been doing for these last few weeks. Anybody that has looked some type of good. Oh, okay. I see what's going on. Let's go ahead and take them out. Oh, toenail injury? IR. Come on, man. Trey Hawkins caught his first pick, and then what happened a couple of days later? IR. yeah. What you're not going to do is you're not going to mess up the mission. Yeah, the mission is to tank this motherfucker to the ground. Make no mistake about it. But if you are looking like you are a factor that can get away with it, oh, no, we got to sit you down. We've seen all we need to see. And from Boyle's standpoint, Boyle probably did enough to land him a job. Boyle probably did just enough in that game alone to keep him in the league going further, whether it's here or somewhere else. That's all he needed to do. So you may not even receive pushback from Boyle. You may not even get that. But yeah, I agree with you. Boyle, from the sample size that we have seen him, I do have the most interest in seeing what Boyle can do in a full game. But it goes to show the mindset of what is going on, and with this Giants coaching staff, is that no, man, we are on a mission to tank. And just hopefully we can continue to do that right. We are almost there, ladies and gentlemen. We are almost there. Yeah, man. Deedon Shelton says the assignment is to tank, fellas. That is a fact. That is a fact. Tim Boyle season. Yeah, for sure. For sure. You got to be careful. Tim Boyle can come in here and light shit up. Can light shit up. Nah, we don't need none of that. We don't need none of that. Bring Drew Lock in here, man, so he can go and scammer around in the pocket and create some turnovers and stuff like that. Yeah. Bring him up in there. Listen, I do want to ask y'all, man. Look, I am in the fantasy playoffs. So far so good. I had the Chargers kicker, and who I am going against. He had who he had? Cortland Sutton. And we equaled out, both had 10 points, which is good, which is a good start for me. But I am struggling because I don't know what I should do. Should I start Malik Neighbors, knowing that we're maybe going to trying to get him the ball to get to that 1,000 mark. We're maybe going to try to build off of last week to try to keep him happy. Or should I start AJ Brown? AJ Brown is going against the Washington Commanders. I think that is going to be a good game. AJ Brown is just somebody who I think is super duper sometimey, but when he's on, he's on. And I'm not sure exact that corner position with the Washington Commanders has elevated just a little bit with getting Lattimore, but I don't know. I do think that they also are looking to feed AJ Brown because you know him. He threw one of his yearly hissy fits. And who else is it that I'm looking at? Let me see real quick. I got one more receiver. I can't even remember who it was. Yeah, I know St. Brown is one of my receivers. I'm starting him regardless. I think that's the most logical thing to do. Oh, okay, DJ Moore. DJ Moore from the Bears is who it is. DJ Moore, look, he's been putting up some decent numbers. He's been putting up some decent numbers since week 11, for real. And he's going against the Lions. And I know that the Lions, they are a team that is really going to be like a shootout. You know, there's a high-scoring team, and I think that is going to cause us to put the ball in the air. So I just wanted to do that side note, man. If any of y'all play fantasy, man, I want to get y'all kind of opinions on that. This Saturday, KC Chiefs and Texas. Yeah, man, I got the Chiefs on that one. I just don't think the Texas, they kind of lost their ability, they sauce this year, but they got a lot to play for. I will say that. Neighbors and Brown are questionable. I have the same dilemma. Yeah, it's tough, bro. It's tough. And this is win or go home right now, so it's a little more tricky just this week. I think one thing Dable doesn't do is reward backups for good play. Why haven't we seen Turbo? We were excited for him. And you're right, but we got to make sure Neighbors gets his 1K. Broke back. Yeah. Hey, okay. I like that point. Yeah. But that's also been one of the frustrations that I've had with him. The reason why I say he has to go. You think about just this roster in general. When it was the last time that we have seen Eric Bellinger? In the beginning of the season, I know you may have forgot that he was on this roster. We barely seen him. We barely used him. Even Theo Johnson. In the beginning of the season, I don't feel like we used him as much as we could have, should have. But those are two tight ends that I feel like showed plenty of capabilities in this league. And we have yet to use them effectively. But now when everything is going down the drain, now you're seeing more and more of them. Please help me make that make sense. Why are these backups not being utilized? Why are they being placed and stuffed on the bench? That is a good point. That is a really good point. This is the time where you try to see what you can get. This is preseason for us, basically. Like, for real, this is really preseason. You need to utilize this time to see what some guys can do that hasn't got much burn. Because I'm telling you now, man, in the offseason, the goal is to get rid of all of excess fat. All excess fat. So, hey, if we're not getting true, I mean, there's just plenty of things, man, when it comes to this coaching staff that is just like, what are we doing, man? This is why I just have no patience for even entertaining the idea of keeping him. Get his ass up out of here, man. Get him out of here. This team relies on rookies way too much. Yeah, we are a super young team, man. We are a super duper young team. But if you want to credit that to anybody, you have to credit that to yours truly, Joe Shane. You have to credit that to him. And see, this is the thing, man. What I challenge people to consistently do, man, is if you have concerns, if you see concerns, you have to look at what is the start of that concern, or who is the main reason on why this is a concern. So anything when it comes to the structure of this roster, you have to sit back and you have to look and you have to say, all right, this is Joe Shane right here. This is Joe Shane. I mean, it's time for us to look past just a draft and say, oh, Joe Shane, he's such a wonderful GM because he drafted such and such. Da, da, da. Nah, you have to look at the full picture. You know what I mean? You have to look at the full picture. All right, AJ Brown. Okay. Yeah, rivals with Lattimore. Yeah, man. Yeah, that's gonna be interesting. That's gonna be a good game too, man. Quiet as kept. That's gonna be a good game. Alan says, what y'all think y'all record gonna be by the end of the season? What I think it's gonna be and what it better be are the same thing. I think we are going to finish this season with 2 wins of the year. 2 wins of the year. And that better be the case. That better be the case. We are on a mission to tank. Make no mistake about it. Make no mistake about it. We are to tank to get Shador. My fault, I don't got my watch on. But I'm telling y'all, man, that is the type of time I'm on. That is the campaign that I'm on. I am pushing for Shador is because I just see the capabilities, man. I think I see, I could envision, man, the beautiful marriage, and I'm gonna keep saying it over and over again. Matter of fact, I may have to get some Shador t-shirts. I may have to get some Shador t-shirts going. I don't think y'all going for him. Okay, why? Why you don't think we going for him? I think everything in the book says we going for him. Me personally, I think everything about what we're doing and what he's thinking says we're going for him. We don't know what we have. Yeah, and that's again, Joe Shane. Now you're going into the off season, and that is the conversation that needs to be had. What do we and don't have? What do we and don't have? I mean, now you got to go into the season and you gotta build something. You got to create some type of identity. So if that's the job, man, I'm telling you, man, it is the job of the GM to complete that thing, man. Says Cam. Says we're going for Cam. Hey, man, look. Cam is 1B. I said this earlier. I don't know if you was on. Shador is 1A. Cam is 1B. I'm not mad at either. But I do think that Shador is the guy. I think he is the guy. I think if you continue to keep Dable here, I do think that he does like Cam. I will give you that. But I don't even want to think about that because in my mind, I'm thinking Coach Dable is out of here. I'm thinking Coach Dable is out of here. But I see Shador, man. I see Shador for real, man. And it's gonna be that's what it's gonna be really edgy and tricky about this offseason. It's because I just have this good feeling about it. And it ain't no telling what they thinking for real, man. Ain't no telling what they thinking. But I do think that the signs are aligned up to where Shador want to be here. And I mean, hopefully we do our thing and get him. And Sanders, we trust. Yeah, man. Shout out to my guy, Ghost Dog Blue in here. And Sanders, we trust. Yeah, Adidas Shelton. Oh, this is fire. Shador for sure t-shirts. Hey, Deedon, y'all, all I need is you're okay that I can push that. All right? I like that. Shador for sure. Let me know. Can I get the okay? If I can get your okay, I'm making it happen, man. I'm making it happen. I like that. Shador for sure. The Shador for Sure campaign is going to be pushed. It is going to be pushed. I told y'all I'm going to the draft this year, and so I already envision it. I am going out there with a Shador for Sure T-shirt if my man Deedon Schultz and OKZ. Yeah, man. Yes, sir, TP. Well, yeah, man. Yeah, giant salute to Ghost Dog Blue. Ghost Dog Blue. Hey, somebody brought it to my attention, and I promise I didn't even remember this, man. Like I wasn't even thinking about it. On my outro song, I mentioned Shador Sanders. I forgot even what I said. We shine like the son of prime, like Shador, something like that. I said something, whatever. And I promise y'all, I forgot all about that until somebody pointed it out. Look, I'm not closing the show just yet, but I want y'all to actually hear. I'm gonna play the closing outro video real quick, just so y'all can hear it. But it is hilarious because that just goes to show, like, first of all, I'm not a rapper like that. I just do shit. But that just goes to show how much I wasn't even paying attention to what I really wrote, or I pay attention to it consistently. But yeah, man. I mean, all the stars are aligning. I'm gonna play the video right here. All right, listen to the last bar of the outro.
A rock don't move from a pebble. We don't cruise with the devil. We don't lose, we don't settle. Hard as heavy metal, but as smooth as the trouble that take you to that level that we ball on. We stand tall on, but never fall on. You can call on, get up off the floor, strengthen up your core. The mind is never poor. We shine like the sun of prime. Call it Shador.
We shine like the son of prime. Call it Shador. And I made that some time ago. Before there was even the thought that we was even going to get Shador, that was made. So the stars are aligning, ladies and gentlemen. Shador for sure. Shador for sure. But man, Allen says it depends on the coaching staff and who y'all GM is. That is very true. That is very true, man. Unfortunately, it's not in my hands. But I will push the campaign out, and I will do my due diligence to make sure that they feel me. You know what I mean? They feel me. But yeah, man, we are definitely on that Shador for sure tank. I do want to end it on this, man. There's some good games coming up this week. But I also think there's a big game between the Raiders and the Jags. Y'all think the Raiders can pull out a win versus the Jags? I mean, this is another toilet bowl that's going on. And I would like to see the Raiders win this. Now, I know a lot of y'all is like, nah, because the Raiders are tanking. But what are you going to do when both teams are tanking? What are you going to do? Somebody got to pull out on top. Somebody got to do it. And so I would just like the lead. I would just like make no mistakes about it. I just want to make sure that we secure that first pick, especially in front of the Raiders, because if we are pushing for Shador, we got to get in front of the Raiders. And I think this is a big opportunity this week. The big opportunities this week. So if y'all hear me from wherever y'all are at, if y'all hear somebody who sounds like me rooting for the Raiders, understand what that is. Understand what that is. All right? I would love. I don't know. The Raiders look bad, man. I was watching them the other week, too. They look terrible. But the Jags is bad, too. But I would love for the Raiders to go in there and just take care of business. Go on. Go ahead and get y'all a win, man. Go ahead and get y'all a win, man. I don't know. Maybe it's because of my biasness. Maybe because I want it to happen. But I don't know. I'm shooting for it, y'all. I'm really rooting for the Raiders to handle that, to help us for our mission. But yeah, man, that is that on that. look, thank y'all for tuning in again. Please make sure that you like. Please make sure that you comment. Please make sure that you subscribe. Again, I apologize for the different time this week. Busy week, and I just had to make sure that I put something out, and I made sure that I chopped it up with y'all. Post game live, like I always do, right after the game. Make sure y'all tune into that. Let's chop it up then. Hopefully, the mission is complete, and it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting. Let's see what Willie Beeman, aka Michael Penix Jr., does for real. And on that note, thank you all for tuning in. Giant salute. Peace.
A rock don't move from a pebble. We don't cruise with the devil. We don't lose, we don't settle. Hard as heavy metal, but as smooth as the trouble that take you to that level that we ball on. We stand tall on, but never fall on. You can call on, get up off the floor, strengthen up your core. The mind is never poor. We shine like the sun of prime. Call it Shador.